So, during last part, I realized there was one NPC in this area that I hadn't talked to yet. And if you're going to talk to every NPC in the game and you leave one behind, it just leaves this itch in the back of your mind. So I figured, fuck, I'll start this part out with talking to that one NPC because I need to fill time. It's only a 19-minute part.
Only a 19-minute part.
Only.
This NPC blended into the background for me because I remember I did at least 6 playthroughs before I actually noticed him in like another playthrough. And I was like, oh my god, there's a person I could talk to this whole entire time? Whoops.
And the thing about that is, if you've played a lot of BioWare games, you just learn to ignore people that are in beds because they never have anything to say. Like, the most you'll get in Baldur's Gate is if someone is in a bed or something, is usually a sound effect where they moan or grumble or something. Like, not even a dialogue box, just a sound bite. But, nah, this guy just gets up to talk to you and has this whole conversation. It's kind of goes against the grain. I mean, I like him, he's a rebel. He even has a different face from the other Solarians, but why is he here?
He just is.
He naps, therefore he is? I don't know.
I suppose so.
Like, I want to see this Solarian pop up
I'll talk to you later.
in Andromeda. Just has a hammock in the backwaters of some planet. And he'll get out of the hammock with a complete suite of hammock physics and animations, just to have a long but meaningless conversation with you.
And to really rub it in, it takes them about a minute to get out of the hammock.
So you said Andromeda, the people who go to the Andromeda system in Mass Effect Andromeda are left before the events of Mass Effect 2. So are there Mass Effect 1 characters confirmed for that game's cast, or is it all new people?
I don't think so. I think the timing is more of an excuse to bring back some Mass Effect 1 style technology things for the story.
Okay.
So that, like, they could, I hear they're combining. They're like changing the ammo system or something to combine the two concepts. I'm not really sure. All I know is that they left some time between Shepard's death at the beginning of Mass Effect 2 and Shepard coming back at the beginning of Mass Effect 2. So somewhere within that 2-year window.
Okay.
All right.
We going to the hot shelter?
Marina Sirtis?
Hi, Benezia.
You see, you can tell she's an RPG villain because she's got a weird thing over her head and points coming out of it.
Yeah, I kind of blurred my eyes. Thought she was Morticia Adams for a second.
And she's making very vague things, comments about the world and other philosophy things.
It's like, put her in a picture. It's like, guess the villain. The first 2 guesses don't count.
Benezia's hat confuses the fuck out of me. Nowhere in of the other... anywhere else in this series does an Asari ever wear anything on their head. Unless it's a helmet. But even when it's a helmet, like, when you bring Liara or Samara with you out into an area where characters need breathers, your character will have a full-on breather helmet, and they'll just have this little plastic thing over their mouth and nose. And that's all they go out into space with.
Your helmet thing is stupid.
You know what? Actually, she's Magneto! She can control... She can move things with her mind and has a stupid helmet on her head. She's Magneto.
It's not even a helmet, though. It's made of cloth. It's just a weird headdress.
That is just power level.
You underestimate my power. Bitch.
Shepard, what does the Skyder say about Benezia's power level?
4.
Now, here's the thing. This boss fight isn't so much a boss fight as it is a mook rush. Every time you take down a wave of mooks, Benezia's power level goes down. And as it does, she becomes more vulnerable. So once her power level is down completely, you just go up and shoot her.
Well, is she, like, controlling these with her mind, or...?
I don't know. It's never really made clear.
Yeah. Because the only reason why I would think her power level would decrease after killing mooks is that she's losing her power over what you're destroying.
Like, is there... Do they establish that she's a powerful biotic before the fight? Or...
Well, yeah, she's a matriarch, so she's been around for thousands of years, maybe. However long the Asari live.
Is that thing broken? It just looks broken. Like, it doesn't even have the stasis globe.
You can't make good Geth anymore.
Yeah. Piece
Yeah,
of
it's just standing there.
It is
Yeah,
in
he's just standing
stasis,
there.
but it
It's
this
just
one's jumping
standing there, menacingly.
it is in stasis, but it's not actually.
And what is she doing?
Geth.exe
now he's back.
is offline.
Oh man. But yeah.
I really gotta finish this game just for the fucking physics alone, man. I love games that just utilize ragdoll physics.
Okay, I'm trying to decide what to put my points in, because I know at level 49, I've only got a few points left to go. And it's like, okay, either this is going to be a point that counts, or it's going to be completely wasted for the rest of the playthrough.
You should level up Rex's stasis. I don't know what that does, but you've left it alone, and it makes me sad.
That's because I have stasis, and you only ever need one stasis user. And I have no idea why Rex has stasis, because it's such a counterintuitive skill for his class type. But, well, I say that. Well, I'm a Vanguard who took stasis, but I took it as a counterpoint. Rex just has it, and I don't know why. Oop.
Ah!
You know, parts of this look straight up Gmod-y, kind of.
Oh man.
Oh, hi, boys.
I did nothing while you walked in.
Suddenly I'm surrounded by Geth. How did you get there?
You know, theoretically...
Wrong side, you idiot!
Theoretically, isn't she capable of sending everybody in at once?
Theoretically, yeah.
Are you
but
seeing what's happening on the screen?
you see, that would actually be like, even if it weren't for the ragdolls, that would be a really bad tactical decision. Because, fuck, like, all these narrow hallways, what are you going to do about them?
Biomech.
Are enemies just going to line up and get headshotted, ride to hell retribution style? It's not going to work. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's video game boss tactics 101, man.
That and circle strafing.
Wait, where are you going to circle strafe here? There's nowhere
I just
to...
said I'm just talking about boss tactics in general.
Oh, okay. There is no strafing in these narrow passages.
Where is Benezia herself at this point?
She's in the middle area.
Yeah, she's in the center.
Can we not
Trying
shoot
to
her
pick
from
you
here?
off.
You can shoot her. It won't do a whole lot.
This is not over. Saren is unstoppable. My mind is filled with his light. Everything is clear. The Rachni
I would have liked if all three choices were just no.
It's like, I don't think so, no, and fuck you.
Yeah, no, fuck you, and cuckoo.
You must listen.
Now,
Saren's
Benezia,
in my mind. I can
she understood that the indoctrination was happening, and she managed to sort of construct herself a countermeasure of sorts, but only enough that she can very briefly talk to someone before falling back into her mind. So there is no saving Benezia, unfortunately. But,
Well, she did just try to kill us, so what do I care?
worship him. You would do anything.
well, she's Liara's mother.
The key is sovereign.
You don't mind, do you, Liara?
It is a dreadnought.
Oh, she clearly does, because she gets all emotional during this scene.
Sovereign's not like other ships.
Emotional by standing out there motionless behind you.
She kind of looks like she's thinking about what she had for lunch.
Its technology is far more advanced than that of
Oh,
the
man.
species. The Llama
Now, there is a subplot involving Benezia in the next two games, even though Benezia herself is dead. You actually find out who Liara's father is.
it is subtle.
Yeah, they call it father when you're not the one who bore the child.
Instead, I became
I guess it's technically true, but it's a little weird to say it when it's an all-female race. You find out who her father is, and her father is actually one of the more memorable NPCs you'll meet.
the Rachni
And,
they
well, it's interesting, and we'll see it when we get there.
share memories.
Can an Asari woman... Sorry, a generalist. Can an Asari in and a woman of a different species have kids together, or not?
Yeah, in fact, that's generally what's preferred by their society. The general thought is that an Asari who mates with an Asari adds nothing to the gene pool. So Asari that are conceived of two Asari parents are actually prejudiced against. They're called purebloods. So we have a species that is racist against
themselves.
I don't.
Blue guilt.
But what I'm meaning is, like, could a human woman and an Asari have a kid together, or is that not possible? Oh, they could.
Yeah,
okay.
it's possible. Yeah. The Asari can have kids with basically anything.
Which is why I call them this galaxy's ditto, essentially.
It's just like they some of them view two Asari parents as something akin to incest. So it's strange.
Huh.
Wow. It's like this indoctrination is strong, but I suppose I could spare half an hour to tell you about what's going on.
Wow. Yeah. Show some emotion in those animations, Liara. Oh, she's sad. She hung her head for a few seconds. Oh, man. At least the latter two games do a bit more with character animations. Anyway, now you actually do get to shoot Benezia directly.
Please force push her. Please force push her.
We did. We didn't get to see the result.
No, I put her in stasis because when she appears here, she actually summons a few mooks. And I want to kill them because that means more experience points for me. Ugh.
Ah, my legs.
That could have gone better.
Ow, my everything.
That could have gone better. That could have gone way better. I almost died.
You looked like you did.
Yeah, it looked like you did.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can make you fly.
Hey, Liara, look what I can do with your mom. Whee!
They used to use the stasis or whatever to puppet her around.
Now, if you go out and fight the last of the mooks, Benezia will actually follow you out into the battle arena. Okay. So glad I got behind cover. But when she dies, she's back in the middle area again. Okay.
Hold on. We've got Metagel. Maybe we can... No. He is still in my mind.
So we'll have to apply Metagel directly to the brain.
Apply head on, directly to your forehead.
What confuses me about this sequence with Benezia is that it doesn't quite match up with what we find out about indoctrination in other parts of the series. So, bit of a plot hole how this happened.
I'm melting.
That's what you go out on, huh? Your disappointing realization that there is no light at the end of the tunnel, that it was the sea train all along? Okay, sure.
That's a stupid movie.
Anyway, so what was Benezia actually doing in here? It turns out she was here to retrieve the Rachni Queen. Yes, the egg-laying machine that has been used to produce all of these Rachni. Disturbing Rachni superpower number 1. Manipulate near-dead bodies and use them as mouthpieces.
Zombies!
Essentially.
Not really. They can't use them to fight. They can just sort of puppet them around and talk with them like sock puppets. Because the Rachni communicate via some sort of telepathic music. It's very strange. But in order to communicate with any other species, they need to hijack a living creature and use it as their voice. There is one other Asari who becomes a willing spokesperson for the Rachni if the Rachni survive this game, but that character just sort of vanishes after Mass Effect 2 and nothing ever happens with her. So, yeah. I'm not really sure where they were going with that. She just sort of shows up and says, hey, yeah, we remember that the Rachni are still alive. They're not in this game, but they're around. Check it.
We are the mother.
But yeah.
We sing for those left behind.
And burn.
That is one of the risks you run making a game series this sprawling is that eventually you'll have so many story points that you don't have time to focus on them all, which is a shame.
But yeah, it's just around the time EA got their hands on BioWare. BioWare sort of it didn't have the freedom or the budget to really take advantage of their save imports, so they fell back on a lot of, hey, we remember what your choices are token efforts. Dragon Age 2 was full of those. Like, there would be this random NPC who shows up for 20 seconds to remind you that some big choice happened over across the sea in that other country you played a game in. And that was all that you would really get out of it. Like, there's a 2-second mission where some elf is trying to hunt down someone that she thinks is a werewolf if you played that quest in a certain way.
Yeah. Hey, look, Alistair's drunk. Haha, he's disgraced. Get it?
Oh, there's Tegan. Hi, Tegan. Bye, Tegan.
Our elders are comfortable with silence. Children know only fear if no one sings to them.
This is actually a really creepy scene because of the way this is already animated. It's like the one time that they give an NPC a really unique animation compared to all the other conversation scenes based on the circumstances.
No, it almost looks like a model is just kind of caught in between like a solid object and just kind of sputtering around trying to get out.
Well, the thing is, I've seen people who move sort of like this in real life, so I think they took some inspiration from that. But it's creepy here because you know that she's basically being sock puppeted by a psychic alien insect. This is the reason I brought Rex along, by the way.
They made a mistake. They let the Krogan go too far. This is a chance for us to atone. She has done nothing to...
This is something that slightly bugs me about the game, though. Like, every combination of characters that you could possibly imagine bringing with you on any mission always has one character who will argue for one choice and the other character who will argue for the other. But depending on what combination of characters you bring, the same character might end up arguing both for and against it in different party combinations.
Yeah.
That's just an unfortunate necessity of this kind of game.
Writing. Well, they don't necessarily have to have your party members being the devil and the angel on your shoulder, you know? The other two games don't do that.
It'd be kind of interesting if, like, two of them were like, yeah, kill it, Shepard, come on.
That does give me the hilarious image of the whole angel and devil on your shoulders thing. One of them just being like Devil Kronk, just standing on one hand, like, oh yeah, well look what I can do.
It's like Liara's almost always good, no matter who you pair her up with, and Rex is usually always the renegade choice. But sometimes you get situations that are like, you know, like Tally might be positive if Rex is in the party, but then if you bring Liara, Tally will be like, nah, we should kill him. So.
Now, you do have some incentive to spare the Rachni here. If you listen to their story, and if you know enough about the Reapers by the point in the game that you get to this mission, which you probably do, because Novaria is generally the later of the two missions that players do, if you... Oh, that's some excellent camera work. Let's just have Rex talking off camera.
You see, he's talking like a backseat gamer. You're going to regret it.
If you've learned enough about the Reapers by this point, you can put the pieces together with what the Rachni Queen tells you about strange musics altering the disposition of her kind, and realize that the Reapers, or rather, the one Reaper that's actually in the galaxy, was manipulating the Rachni as a means of attacking the other species. So the Rachni weren't actually at fault in the war, they were being mind-controlled, essentially. And this one Rachni Queen, who was an egg in cryostasis around that time, she was unaffected by the indoctrination. Now here's the thing. There will always be a mission in Mass Effect 3 where the Rachni come back. But if you don't save the Queen, it will be a half-mad clone. And saving that half-mad clone is still an option, but it's a bad option. Don't take it. It will just wind up attacking your allies. So, yeah.
That's assuming you don't let it go here.
Yeah, if you let it go, if you let the Rachni Queen go, it will be the Rachni Queen in that mission, and she will be a willing ally for your cause at that point. But it sort of feels like they had these two separate plot threads that they were building up in Mass Effect 1, the Rachni Queen and the genetically engineered Rachni that Cerberus were working on, and they tried to tie it all together in a single mission, and it falls flat on its face, unfortunately.